What's up guys, Devildog Gamer here, and due to the fact that my iRacing has been just such a huge popular thing on my Twitch live streams, that I decided to bring a little bit more of it over here to YouTube and kind of share some of my experiences with it. And in this we're doing the Street Stock Series oval races, which is basically your redneck NASCAR rookie series. And you know, before we get into this, I'm not a fan of NASCAR at all. I don't like watching it. Don't really like the racing. I've never really considered it to be a form of racing. It doesn't look like really much skills involved. But racing the oval series on iRacing is a blast. Now this is actually my first experience with it, and my first experience with riding behind a pace car. This is what we're doing now. You ride behind a pace car, you stay in your lane, stay behind your car, you go, and then once the car pits, you green, 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 go, everybody drives fast. And I'm actually starting in second to last place, 16th place to be exact. And this just goes to show you how crazy this racing is, just because of the amount of crashes and people taking each other out and just the tight close-up driving and just the white knuckle ride the whole way. It's definitely a huge blast, and you know, I'm really liking it. I definitely just I did this as a whim because I really want to do the road racing in iRacing, but the week's track for the series was this very short track. I forget the name of it. And it was just really annoying, and I wasn't having a lot of fun with it with the Miata, and I was actually losing more points than I was gaining for safety rating. So I decided to give this a try, and it was just so much fun that I had to keep doing it. And even during the streams, we've kind of done it now to where Upchuck will come in and watch. He'll be my spotter and let me know what's ahead, if there's a wreck ahead, go high, go low. And just the amount of teamwork that goes into it is just a blast. And we're definitely going to try to bring a few of those videos of us doing teamwork in the races, because it's really cool. He gives me a heads up on, you know, and it's just kind of a cool feature that you can have somebody come in and spot for you or be a crew chief, and you know, it just, I like that. That's a cool level of it. That's definitely a cool level. If you haven't figured it out yet, I'm a sim fanatic. I fucking love anything with sims, and this being a racing sim, I'm fucking falling in love with it. I know a lot of people are kind of like, racing's boring. Give it a chance. You know, I'm gonna put some exciting shit up. It's definitely, I mean, if you've watched this on the live streams, it gets fucking exciting. I mean, it's just usually just battles left and right for position, and just, you know, it's just craziness. It is a blast. I'm not going to upload it as much as I really want to, because I know it is kind of a niche thing, and a lot of you aren't really going to agree with it. But iRacing does have that level of simulation that I like. The series are definitely a lot of fun. I definitely like having the series events to it, and it's pretty hard. I mean, it's not something you can pick up and get good at right away. I'm still having growing pains with it myself, trying to learn the tracks and each car in the series races and actually do good, which is usually a very hard thing. Now this one, I actually do good because what I'm trying to do here is play it safe. I'm not really trying to get aggressive with it. I'm not trying to, you know, force people off the track or force my way up positions. And it actually pays off, because a lot of the, you know, the crazy, as this being rookie series, a lot of the crazy drivers are here, and they end up forcing each other off the road, and I gain from other people's mistakes. And I've been learning to do that quite a bit here in these in the rookie, and even in the Class D you can pull that off too. But at the same time, there's the first wreck, and I barely miss these guys. It's just a clusterfuck. I mean, this is what makes it fun. Just dodging these wrecks left and right is just a blast, you know? And I don't know why I downshifted there. I figured I could probably get a few extra horsepower to pass them, but, you know, didn't happen. Of course, still got my cold too. But this kind of racing is a blast. It is a lot more fun than I thought it would be. And I definitely kind of do want to move into the NASCAR races at the later series for Oval, or maybe even IndyCar, even though the races are actually very long. And it takes a lot of time to put away for the day. Because right now, with the rookie series, each actual race is every hour on the hour. But so far what I've seen is that when you move up into license and you get into some of the higher events, they change from anywhere from an hour and a half to every 2 hours, which really means you got to kind of plan your day around iRacing, which is something, you know, I understand at the same time, because it kind of allows people to plan to be at these certain races, but at the same time it is quite a bit to, you know, put yourself into at the same time, because you have to make sure you're ready at that time and that you've had enough practice before that time to just succeed in that race. And if you join the race and immediately get taken out like those guys, you just wasted a few hours of your life preparing for that race and setting aside that time bracket, which can be a frustrating thing. which is why I'm really desperate to get out of rookies, because the rookie series really has some of the terrible bad drivers. I can be an aggressive driver. I know I'm a late breaker. I will tell you, I'll be the first one to admit that. It'll look like I'm trying to kamikaze you in the corner, but I'm not. I just really am a late breaker. I really get on the brakes, and here's another crash. You know, their loss is my gain. And it's just, that's the cool part about it. Just dodging these crashes on the oval is just insane, and then just passing people left and right. But I am a pretty aggressive driver. I'm not going to say the most aggressive driver. I'll hold back, and I like to kind of hang back and let people do their thing, especially when I'm new to a track or a certain type of car. I will hang back and kind of watch. I'll try to pace people and keep with them, but I'll get a respectable distance. And if somebody's genuinely faster than me on a track, I will move over, because that extra added pressure behind me usually is enough to fuck me up. You know, put that added pressure, you know, just, you know, rubbing the bumpers, it's enough to fuck me up into the race. And all it takes is one mistake in this to be out of the race, and then you lose your safety rating, you lose your chance at winning, and it's a big deal. It is a big deal. A lot of people take this very seriously, and I can see why, because it is, if you lose a good number safety rating, you're definitely going to have to work to try to get that back up to get promoted again to the next series, to the next license, to progress into some of the cooler series. And I'm definitely liking that aspect. But like I said, I'm a late breaker, so I do like to come into turns for the road races pretty hot and heavy sometimes. And knowing that, I do get myself into trouble here and there. I've done it on the live stream a few times to where I know I'm faster into a corner than another car, but he may have me on the straightaway. So at the same time, I will usually hold and try to let people make mistakes, but if I need to make a move on the corner I know I'm faster than them, I will late break it into the turn, which I usually do anyways, which allows me to be faster in the corner than them, and usually get myself into a pickle where it becomes, well, it's either they're going to let me try to cut through and they're going to let me pass on that corner because they know I'm faster than them. You know, you can watch in your mirror and you can tell who's coming into corners faster than you are. So at that point, either they're going to take the outside and let you go, or they're going to try to cut you, and you really have to make a choice of whether you want to follow through this action or if you want to keep it safe. And that's what it comes down to, if you want to be a defensive or an offensive driver at the same time, but yet at the same time keeping it safe. And that's the cool like blend I like in iRacing. You can be an offensive driver but a safe driver at the same time by making your choices carefully and calculated. You can enter corners faster than somebody else taking the inside if you do it right and make a pass, even though, you know, at some point people would say that is a dangerous thing to do, and you're definitely endangering the safety of everybody else on there, and you could cause a wreck and put everybody out of the race. If you do it right, and everybody else on the track is understanding, you know, what they need to do, and not try to cut you on the inside, even though you're on the inside, then everything can be all right. And I think that's a cool thing to do. It's a lot. This kind of racing, just iRacing in general, seems a lot more strategy than speed and, you know, lines. It's all becomes strategy. And that's a blast. I love that. It's not just racing. It's just strategy and, you know, intimidation. And that even goes into effect here with the oval racing. You ride somebody's ass for long enough, they're going to start paying attention to you in the back, and they're not going to pay attention to the front or their lines, and they're going to have a problem. And I've definitely seen that before. I've had a few people on my ass constantly around this track, left and right, and it fucks you up. It really does fuck you up. Now, the one thing that I'm having a hard time dealing with is I just moved up to D, so I'm kind of on the road side. So I'm kind of having that problem too, where I'm learning the new cars, the new tracks just came out. I want to get out there and race. I feel comfortable on the track alone, but when you get onto the race and you have all these other cars around you, there's problems. Now all of a sudden you're nervous. This is a very nerve-wracking game. You got cars all around you. You want to try not to crash anybody because it's a big deal if you crash somebody. It's nerve-wracking. It makes me nervous. It stresses me out, and that's what I love about games. I love games that make me nervous and stress me out. I don't know why. I don't know why. But this car that I'm coming up to here on the oval is the 14th place car. Now I've worked my way up to 5th place from, I think it was 16th place, due to passing everybody on wrecks. Now the 4th and 3rd place cars are up ahead on that oval. Now if I can strategically somehow get up to this guy and draft off of him, I might be able to catch up using the draft to maybe pass this guy, let him draft off of me, he passes me, and then, you know, just be able to kind of slinky my way up there to pass these cars for a pole position. But at the same time, if he's actually, you know, a fast driver, which he looks like he is, he's not, you know, slow in any way. I'm definitely catching up, but it's going to take me a few laps. This comes down to where it's going to take me a while, and is it worth it to even try to pass him, for him to pass me again? And, you know, he may be a dangerous driver. So at this time, you got to, with lappers, this happens in almost every race. I've seen it. To where you get a lapper. Someone who's either been taken out in a wreck or is just generally slow, and you come back around on them. And you have to make a choice. Do you want to attempt to pass them, and maybe they're just a safe driver that got caught into a bad situation? Or maybe they're an unsafe driver, still driving a vehicle, even after causing a few wrecks. And do you want to take the chance of passing them, even though it might be a clean pass? They might just be retarded and take you out. And that's the kind of strategy I like. I've ran into a lapper before to where I thought he was just generally being slow. But no, he was just generally a shit driver, and he's knocked me out of a race trying to pass him clean. These are the kind of things you got to look out for. The kind of forward thinking you have to do in this. It's just amazing. And it's definitely something you only get here. iRacing is definitely a lot of fun. If you have a wheel, you definitely need to check it out. It is just a fantastic blast. Doesn't take a supercomputer to run. It is just awesome fun. The community seems pretty good. You know, most people are generally nice. One of the races I'm in for the road racing is actually a multi-series, to where they have the Mustangs will race each other, the Volkswagens will race each other, and the Solstices will race each other, and they're all racing at the same time. And you generally see a lot of really good racers in those kind of races, because even though if I'm driving a Mustang, I'm faster than the Volkswagen and the Solstice, so eventually I'm going to lap around and run into the Solstices. And most of these guys are really cool because they know that it's better to let you pass, because they're not racing you. They'll let you pass to avoid an incident, to where, you know, they won't get knocked out of position and we won't get knocked out of position, which is awesome. But, you know, I've been running into problems here and there. Some of the tracks, you know, make multi-class racing a little difficult. And you'll see in later videos, I got videos all kinds of places over there, which is just awesome. But rookie racing right now is hit or miss. You can either get into a great race with good racers who are maybe just starting out and you know, generally care about, you know, leveling up, and then sometimes you get into races where there's just boneheads who maybe, you know, just say fuck it, I'm just gonna troll everybody, and into the first corner just slam into cars. I have had some crazy races where turn one, cars go off on the right side of the track, I'm all the way on the left, the next thing I know, a car appears in front of me 1 foot away and I'm off the track, out of the race. It's hit or miss with rookie, and I can't wait to get out of it and to get some real races. I've already tasted the D-Class license with road, and I'm really excited to kind of move up for oval. I'm definitely working on that because, you know, I really want to get into some of the higher class races and see what that has to offer. At the same time, you know, it is kind of a nervous thing when you get into these higher class races, because these guys they're vets. You know, they've been doing it for a while, so you don't want to make an ass of yourself. So, you know, it kind of generally adds to the stress level. And, you know, here I got to make this choice of this guy. It's the final lap. Is it really even worth it to pass him, risk it, and maybe get myself knocked out of the race? These are the kind of decisions you got to make. It doesn't seem worth it. I mean, the cars are way up there. There's no way I'm going to get them in that far. So, you know, it just seems like it'd be better just almost draft them. But, you know, it's kind of good to put the pressure on every once in a while, you know, last turn. And then, look at that. Imagine that. Imagine that. That's all it takes sometimes. Final turn. 2 men battling it out. And I end it with 3rd place. That's how crazy these oval races get. A pole position by just driving safely and not battling it out. Even with a lapper, I could have battled it out with the lapper, gambled with him, and lost. iRacing is definitely an awesome thing. Give it a shot. If you have a computer and a wheel, give it a shot. It is amazing. So let me know if you guys want to see some more oval races, road races, some more iRacing. I'm working on a crash compilation for you guys to see the funny things that happen to me. Hope you guys enjoy it. Talk to you guys later. Peace.